Hi, my name is Jacob Ransom, and I composed Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is an exploration of live processing, sampler-based music, and processed electroacoustic drum set performance. The piece features narration of Baba Yaga, which is a folk tale from Politicizing Magic, an anthology of Russian and Soviet fairy tales. Baba Yaga, often referred to as the Bony-Legged. She is a witch and is a common antagonist in Slavic folklore. The story is presented in English and Russian. I wanted both languages to be present, although the different parts of the story are cut up and used more sonically than an actual narration of the tale. The story intertwines and juxtaposes the two languages against the rhythms. The electronics in Baba Yaga contain many short samples that are played on a drum sampler pad, series of fixed media sections, and live audio processing for the drum set and for the video. The sampled material is constructed from both audio and MIDI instruments. Here you can see my setup for Baba Yaga. The instrumentation includes bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat, two cymbals, and a Roland SPDX sampler pad. For the electronics, there are, and this is referring to the live performance. There are short samples triggered throughout the piece, sampled materials constructed from both audio and MIDI instruments, vocal effects processing on the voice for the Russian, and then using Ableton video editing software to speed up and slow down audio to match the samples with the vocals. Here is what the notation looks like for the piece. It's made up of many small cells, which are repeated, and that is left up to the performer for the live performance. So you can see the X's up top are the notation for the drum set. And then below, I have written on a grand staff the sampler notation. So each sampler is also rhythmically notated above the drum set notation. Here is the picture of the SPDX SX sampler. I have MIDI mapped the sampler to play the individual parts. And then I'm also using the Ableton Live drum rack, which I have pictured here. So I've taken live audio and I've sliced it. So it takes short audio samples, and then I'm triggering those samples with the sampler, with the MIDI controller. So I am going to now open up the Ableton Live session. So these are the samples for the movement. I'm just going to play these for you so you can hear the different sounds. So I have these MIDI mapped to my controller. It's pretty easy to MIDI map. So I'm going to play these. So in the first movement of this piece, the live drum set is playing with these samples. Now I'm going to load the set that has the mixed drum set. And by mixed, I mean the mixed audio. And I can talk a little bit about the process of which I took the audio and stretched it and kind of molded it to fit with the text. So I have both the English and the Russian fairy tale here, and I'm just going to solo this and play a little bit of this for you.
Grabbed her pestle and she started pushing away with her pestle, and she started hiding her prints with her broom. Толкачом погоняет, помелом след заметает и пустилась в погоню за девочкой. Вот девочка преклонила ухо к земле и слышит, что Баба Яга гонится, и уж близко the girl. The girl was running as fast as she could until she fell down to the earth, and she put her ear to the earth.
The vocal tracks are panned to the left and right, so you get sort of this stereo image of the audio. for the vocals. So one side being English and the other side being Russian. There's some vocal effects happening here. I just have a pretty standard high pass filter on the vocals. And then I'm using a Valhalla frequency echo. This is a free plugin. I like it a lot. I'm using a shifter, a delay, and the shift modulates the pitch of the delay. So you can hear it sort of spiraling almost, giving it sort of this wild echo sound. And then on the actual English one, I have a resonator, which gives it an actual pitch.
Grabbed her
play
pestle,
that.
and she started pushing away with her pestle, and she started hiding her prints with her broom.
It's on very low, so it just gives it a little bit of resonance. And I can control the different pitches and automate that, but right now for this one, I just have it turned on, and I have set the pitches to match what the drum set is playing. So then for the Russian version, I just have a compressor. Pretty simple audio effects. So as the piece goes through, the English and the Russian gradually get closer and the samples get longer until at points they're both being played at the same time.
Hey, little one, why don't you go to my sister to beg her for a needle and some thread to sew a dress?
And then this happens.
To beg her for a needle and some thread to sew a dress for yourself. Так и так. Меня матушка посылала к тетке попросить иголочку.
All right. Now I'm going to talk just a little bit about the audio for the drum set. So I'll play just a little bit of this for you. I recorded a video of myself playing the piece. And then I took the video and I put it into Ableton Live. And I'm actually able to adjust the audio, and then in turn, it slows or speeds up the video depending on what I do with the audio. So I will play some of this, just a real quick talk about effects. I have the Smackos tape station, which basically gives the sound as if I were recording on like a reel-to-reel tape. And then I just have a compressor. So I'll play a little bit of this for you.
Baba Yaga, костяная нога, поскорей села на стул.
So here's a good example where I take the actual audio and I'm just using the warp functions in Ableton Live. So I've sort of hand constructed these large pauses. And then when I bring up the video viewer, that it actually slows down. All right, so now I'm going to play this. So where I've edited it, speeded it up and slowed it down, you can see with the video, and Ableton sort of puts these together. So every cut is something that I did, and manually cut the video, sped it up, slowed it down, and then I fit the audio to the sections. Obviously, that's a slowdown. I'm going to go into this a little bit more where I actually start adjusting the pitch of the different sections. So here's a good section for this. So I've gone through and I've actually transposed the original video. Let's just play this. So in this instance, the speed does get adjusted. And I actually really like the sound of this. It almost makes the drums sound like toy drums. Now I'm going to show this same segment with the video. I'm just going to go through and play a little bit now with the video and audio together, so you can see how I kind of took the story and added the drums to it. I think it's really interesting when you have vocal and audio together, especially with drum set, to try and match sort of the articulations or even just the feeling of the tale.
Она пошла к тетушке, немного погодя, девочка переезжала домой. And she wanted to get rid of her altogether. She realized and sent her to her sister.
So that is an explanation of Baba Yaga. I hope you enjoyed this. Contact me or email me if you have any questions about the piece or the process or the sounds or the narration. So thank you very much. Bye.